evening, Tarot fans, and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Bryan. And welcome back, Reverend Bryan. We're so glad to have you back with us.
I'm back.
And
Back.
now he's a hoary old married man.
Sure. I don't think it counts though till I get the marriage license in the mail.
Oh, that'll take a month.
Right.
Hi, Zebra. Well, it takes a month in Tennessee. I don't know about New
Yeah,
York.
it's like 4 to 6 weeks in New York.
So we're glad to have you back. The pictures we've seen so far look great.
Yay.
And Zebra says, congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, this is giving me the death stare.
Is Elsa still mad at you for ditching her?
No, I think it's just because it's can so clock time soon.
Oh, Elvis has an hour before it's can o'clock.
See?
It's sad that I know Elvis's wet food schedule and I'm like 1,000 miles away from you.
That's true. All right.
Well, I guess we will go over our rules before we take any readings. So, Bryan and I, good evening, Ed. To see you. So, we are not medical people, so we don't do readings about your health. We're not lawyers, so we're not going to do readings about legal matters. Uh, we're not techs, ultrasound techs. There's the word I'm looking
There you go.
for. So we're not going to predict the gender of your unborn offspring, but congratulations. We can't predict the outcome of world conflicts, but we encourage everybody to grow up and settle their differences.
Play nice in the sandbox or you will be evicted.
So, but other than that, if you have a question, please go ahead and post it in chat, and we'll be happy to do a 3-card, more or less, reading for you because we've both learned from Reverend Don.
Would you like to say hello to your fans, Elvis?
Yes. Does Elvis want to say hello?
Nope, she's on the other end of the couch now.
Okay. Elvis was, before we came live, Elvis was in here talking to me.
Oh, she's trying to stick her head in the empty container from the Lucky Charms.
Okay. That sounds like a Catly thing to do.
It does.
I had a friend who needed a mobility scooter spend the summer with us once, and one of my cats, who's now crossed the Rainbow Bridge, took over the mobility scooter. Kitten Pooh just sat on it.
She likes the office chair. That's her thing.
So then when you need the office chair, you have to boot her.
Or defer the chair.
Yes.
Ow.
So, does anyone have a question for us? So, well, I'm happy to be with y'all tonight. If it were Tarot Wednesday, I don't think I would have made it last night. Yeah, I was sending Bryan pictures of how flooded it got here in Tennessee. I literally got trapped in my house. The water did not get close to the house, but the access road to my subdivision flooded out. So I was stuck in, and my husband and my sister could not come home.
They got to party.
Yeah, they had to spend the night with friends in Nashville.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Did
So,
Hella have to go for a late night swim?
no, but Hella was looking for them all night. Let me
Oh,
tell you. She kept waking me up whining when it wasn't the weather radio waking me up, going off with yet another alert.
at that point, I would have just slept in the closet.
So, well, while we're waiting, you want to pull a few cards for me about how about my trip to Lustration? Thank you, Zebra. How about my road conditions going to and from Lustration next week? Hello, Michelle, and welcome.
Well, I have a post wedding, I think it's from the dress shoes hang nail, which is not fun right now.
Oh,
It's fine. How often do I wear dress shoes? Never.
I was about to say, I've never seen a picture of you in dress shoes other than your wedding
I
pictures.
don't. Those were rentals on top of it, so those are not. Well, so lustration travel or lustration.
Lustration travel.
Patience.
Oh, gods.
I mean, you're traveling. You're gonna hit some traffic. Have patience. Bring
I'm
snacks.
leaving at 6 a.m., so I don't hit traffic.
Bring snacks.
Always.
You might want to stretch your legs occasionally. And let's see here. Focus on the road.
Okay.
It's a road trip.
And your cards are being literal today.
Yeah.
Okay. And Michelle has asked us for a general reading.
Yes. What? What? We gotta pull the cards. Do you want to pull the cards?
Only if you can get another camera on the action.
I've thought about it with how chatty she's been recently.
You know, if we could get a camera on Elvis blessing the cards, that would be awesome.
Got any opinions on that, Elvis? All right. You can go first. Hi.
All right. So the first card I've got for you, Michelle, is the Magus. And this card is about your ability to manifest what you want. So right now, in your situation, you have the ability to manifest whatever you want out of it. Then I've got the Six of Wands, and this means attaining what you want. And then we've got the Emperor, and the Emperor is talking about temporal authority. And so, again, taken with the other cards, I'm going to say it's a very fortunate card, meaning that in this your situation right now, uh, everything is going to line up the way you want it to. So, whatever it is you're working on, go for it.
So the first card I pulled, Michelle, is the Star. So I would say this is a period of healing and inspiration and serenity for you. The second card that I pulled is the Hierophant, which is about spiritual growth and development. So I would definitely say you're going into a period of good time to rededicate yourself to your personal practice. And then the Four of Cups, which is very similar in the way it talks about relaxing and getting in tune with your emotions. So that's all to say this is a really good period to do some healing work.
Okay. You are welcome, Michelle. And now Diane has asked for a general reading. Did I hear Elvis?
She's here.
Yeah, but I'm hearing her.
What?
Hi,
You want to
Felicia.
the cards?
We'll be happy to get a reading for you after we do Diane's. Elvis is definitely being more vocal. Okay, so the first card I've got for you is the Four of Lamps. In this particular deck, lamps is the suit of magic and spirituality. And with the Four of Lamps, we have someone realizing that she can make her spiritual practice deeper. And now, the next card I've got for you is the Fluffy. And when Reverend Don did the Kickstarter for the Infinite Tarot that I'm using, one of the options it was to commission a card, and my friend Fluffy did so. If you look, the wolf has just lost a part of his leg. Fluffy had had to have his foot amputated right before he had the card commissioned. And he took what could have been a pretty devastating personal event and he used it to magically transform his life. So when the Fluffy card comes up, it means that even if there's something negative going on in your life, take that energy and use it for transformation. And then finally, I've got the King of Lamps. And this card is about meditation. So overall, this reading is about focusing on your spiritual practice. It's time to deepen it and use the energy around you to transmute whatever is negative into something positive.
What?
Elvis, let Daddy read the cards.
So the first card I pulled is Justice. Yeah, if she keeps acting up, though, I might have to go deal with her. I would say that right now it's your best benefit, whatever you're struggling with, to come to it from a place of fairness and sort of letting justice take its course, not trying to persuade it one way or the other. The second card that I pulled is Strength. So while it might be hard to just let things naturally go where they're going to go and let the cards fall where they may, use your inner strength to have that confidence to just go with what's going on. Because oftentimes, if you try to persuade things, you can actually persuade things in the wrong direction. The Three of Wands is also about progression and seeing that whatever this hurdle is, it's the natural progression towards what's best for you in the long term. Hope that's helpful.
Okay, Diane. So I hope that has brought you some clarity in your situation. And next up, we have Felicia. And Diane says, thank you. All right. And Felicia has asked for a general reading. Okay. So the first card I've got for you, Felicia, is the Eight of Lamps. And this card is about perfecting your spiritual and magical abilities. As you can see, the woman pictured here is levitating above the ground a little. The next card I've got is Mind. And Mind is about examining your situation critically and being sure you understand all that's going on in your current situation. And then we've got the Four of Lamps. Second time it's come up tonight. But this card is about realizing that you can deepen your spiritual practice, which is getting to be a theme tonight. So that's what I'm seeing. You are in the process of mastering your spirituality, but you're at a point at the same time where you can deepen it.
Sorry. The first card I pulled is the Three of Pentacles, which is about teamwork in the material realm and working together to meet that common goal. So I definitely think whatever you're working on right now is definitely a team opportunity. However, with that comes a lot of choices and decisions that have to be made, and who makes them, and how you come to a consensus on that. So I would say that while your team works well together, deciding who gets to make those choices and decisions seems to be a point of contention. And then the third card I pulled is the Six of Pentacles, which is about flow and prosperity. So once you get that communication sorted out about who's making the decisions and how everyone's going to follow those decisions, you will be able to like get into a good flow. You just have to get through that communication piece first. Hope that's helpful.
Okay, and finally, we're up to Zebra. And Zebra has asked for a general reading.
Ugh,
Okay, Bryan.
sorry.
I'm yawning.
Told you it was one of those Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Zebra. So the first card I have is the Fool, which is obviously about new journeys, new beginnings. So definitely a new chapter is starting for you in some regard. The Five of Swords, which is about like miscommunication or missed opportunities that have been misunderstood between people. So I would say this new chapter is definitely a way to reestablish some of those communications that have gone poorly, or maybe finding new ways to communicate that haven't worked well for you before. However, that's also to say with the last card I pulled, which is the Nine of Cups, that which we often call the wish card, that you if you're wishing to improve on your communication style because you feel that you're being misunderstood, be very careful how you phrase that wish or how you articulate it, because what we like to say about the wish card is that you get exactly what it is you're wishing for. So, phrase it carefully.
Okay, Zebra. So the first card I've got for you is the Five of Cups, which means there's been some sort of emotional loss recently. I've got the Princess of Wands, which indicates that you've been holding back somehow and not fully communicating what you want to communicate. So, and then I've got the Eight of Lamps. And this card, Bryan and I are having the same reading here. This is about mastering your skills and abilities. So, you have the ability to master what you want to if you put the time in to work at it. So, I hope that is helpful. And hello to Anissa. And you've asked us two questions, one for you and one for your uncle. And unless your uncle is right there to give permission for us to read about him, it would be best for us to read the question for you. And you are most welcome, Zebra. So, Anissa, we're going to read on your question, which is, will I get a job by next month?
Yeah. You got 30 minutes, ma'am.
Do you normally 10 o'clock?
In this on the couch, yes. But usually I have the TV on. What? So I would say, Anissa, to start, that ask when something you want to think about moving forward is that asking within a specific time frame can sometimes be a little difficult, um, because the cards have a timeline of their own. And so I would say the first card that I pulled for you is the Five of Cups. Now, the Five of Cups is not usually what the suit you think of when you think of jobs. Um, that is the suit of the cups is the suit of emotions, and I would say that you are getting rather disappointed in your job search, which is sort of causing some setbacks. So really, you know, thinking about when it's going to happen is probably what's causing some of that problem, but you know, anything's possible. So, but however, while you're on this job search, really dig into your strength and your skill set, maybe looking at untraditional lines of work that you maybe never thought of, looking in other directions, other ideas instead of what you have traditionally done for work might be helpful. Um and then with the tower as my last card, there is some sort of abrupt change coming, maybe not related to your job, which is probably good. So I would just say be mindful of what you're putting out into the universe. It can sometimes cause disruptions. So just, stay focused, think unconventionally, and something will pop up sooner rather than later.
Okay, so the first card I've got for you is the Queen of Wands. So I would say in this context, wands are about passion, and the Queen is overall a fortunate card. And then I've got the Four of Pentacles, which indicates being in a good position in the material world and having enough and being able to share. And then drum roll, Bryan, I have the Tower. So we both wound up with the Tower for the final card. So I'm seeing good fortune on your job search, but it's going to be transformational for you, and it is going to take you in new directions. So be prepared for the ride. So I hope you find that helpful. And we do want to add, if you want to book a private reading with Reverend Bryan or me, or with Reverend Don, you can go to divinationtv.com, your destination for all things divination, and you can do so through that website.
And we won't be here next week.
Well, next week is the Corellian lustration, and Reverend Don and I will be in the same place physically. So we will be reading live together, side by side.
Well, I won't be there.
Yeah, Reverend Bryan will not be there. Unfortunately, he can't join us in person this year because he had to go and get married.
Yep. And then I got an adult.
And then he's got an adult because his job won't let him take all that time off.
Yep.
So, yeah. But Reverend Don and I will be reading side by side in the same location next week.
That should be interesting.
It really should be.
Who's gonna play with the camera?
Ed is going to be our camera person.
Okay.
So, yes, so it will be an interesting setup, and we'll make it all work by magic.
Or television. Whatever.
Magic, technology, technomagery.
So, we're gonna call it early this evening.
Does anyone else have a question for us?
Kellen? Hey, Elvis, you might get early cans. She's magically disappeared.
That might be scary.
No, she's fine. She's probably just harassing her other father.
Thank you, Zebra. Okay. Well, does anybody else have a question for us?
That follows the rules.
Yes, that follows the rules. All right, then we are going to call it early tonight. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Have a wonderful Thursday evening. I will be back next week with Reverend Don reading side by side. We've never had an opportunity to do that before.
We have.
Yes, Bryan and I were reading together from the floor of the Parliament of World's Religions last fall or last summer.
Yep.
But thank you all for joining us. Bryan, thank you for reading with us. Elvis, thank you for supervising wherever you are. Have a blessed evening, everyone.